Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. There has to be a balance in your choices. Ladies, this is very important because, I know a lot of women, I've known women over the decades who complain about the men that they're dealing with, can say there's no men or a shortage of men, very few men, whatever. But here's something that, that is known, and many women have acknowledged this, and a small percentage of men actually know this. Y'all choose the men. I mean, we can have all the money, we can even have looks, we can have all this stuff, but y'all still have to choose the man. And then when y'all dealing with a man, whether y'all approach him or make yourself available, leaving out breadcrumbs, giving hints, or he directly approaches you out of the blue, you still making a choice. And when you get into the trouble that you do with men, you got to accept that choice. But here's the thing. I understand where y'all coming from because, oh, look, y'all want sex. Y'all want to get sex. Y'all want that guy who turns you on sexually. You want that guy. But then you also want that guy who's going to act like he got good sense. So basically, you want the man, you want the freak in the sheets and the gentleman in the streets. And that's cool. That's normal because we want the lady in the streets and the freak in the sheets ourselves. And that's cool. It's cool. But here's the thing. You got to be realistic because what happens with a lot of women is either one or two things. Okay, you get some women, they go for the freak. They go for that guy who can turn them out, make them holler, like a drug dealer. Instead of tapping, they on drugs. Instead of y'all tapping your arms, you tapping your thighs. I mean, shoot, that guy got you screaming. Y'all stroking all over the room and everything. All right. But then outside the bedroom, that guy's no good for you. But you still want that feeling. But then you'll get with the gentleman. I give y'all some credit. Many of y'all will try to make it work with that legitimately good guy. And it might work for a bit until Mr. Goodbar comes strolling through just like, until Mr. Goodbar comes through, right? So it's like, you got one, you got the other. And you be like, damn, what's up? Ladies, as a group, y'all got to strive for that balance. Y'all have to strive for the balance. Because there are men who are probably in between. There are men. I've personally known some men who, the women were going crazy. Women asking me about them. But they're actually good guys too. They are actually good guys. Now, is there enough of them? No. But if women start really focusing as a group, as women start focusing on those balanced guys, first just really praising them, getting with them and everything, it'll put a message to everybody else. Because the thing is, men respond to y'all agenda too often. Most men. You got some men who do things by their own agenda, but that's that 80-20 thing. That's that select, non-select thing. The select men, they stick with their agenda, but there's not enough of them. And a lot of times even the select men is more of a sexual thing. Very few dominant men who, they can take it in the bedroom and also, handle business on the outside. There needs to be more. Unfortunately, is that enough? But there still has to be balance in your choices. So you know what? All right, maybe the guy ain't as sexy, but he still try. Like, here's a perfect example. Okay, maybe the guy isn't as sexy. He ain't as sexy. He ain't got you about to come off that chandelier floating or everything. But he's still the type. He's still the type that will be, try to satisfy you. He'll still do some work with it. And here's the thing, ladies. As far as satisfaction, it's never 100% on the man anyway. You got to have some stuff. You got to bring something to the table too. You know, you might have to do some work. Yeah, foreplay is great, but then y'all might have to do some stuff. You might have to dress sexier or be more flirty or work to be more receptive. Because if you're that, it'll actually bring out more in a man. And then, you know, just really another thing too, and this can encourage balance. Don't deal with a guy, you know, that sexy guy if he don't got shit going on for him. Y'all got to at least demand that the man has something going on for him. That's how you become up with balance. That's how you get balance. Like, you don't have to ignore the sexual part. That's a part of who you are. That's your nature. Shoot, women, y'all naturally orgasmic. Y'all just don't know it. But what you have to do is actually, you really do have to think in terms of, okay, what's the balance? And you might have to, you know what, you might have to sacrifice looks a bit. Because I know there's some women out there, like that's a part of it too. And that's partly sexual, partly. Another is the attitude. You might have to, that dude might not be like that 9. But then you might have to say, you know what, let me deal with this 6. Who is at least trying, at least has good intentions for me, you know? And you don't have to tell this guy, oh, you get a job and everything. And those guys, honestly, those guys who are more balanced are actually out there. But a lot of times, they don't get a chance because of the sexual aspect. You know, it's not obvious. You know, the guys with that like boom, boom, boom sex appeal and they sharp in the world, they're rare. But a whole lot of guys, if you give them half a shot, they'll surprise you. But that's the thing. I got to stick with that balance, not either or, balance. You got to look at that guy holistically, because I know that's what y'all want anyway. When I was first selling my book, Nice Guys and Players, and I would tell them, it's the same sales pitch to the women every single time. It's like, yeah, y'all want that guy who can turn you on sexually, but is also monogamous. And it's actually, see, that's the tough part. Because a guy who can usually turn you on sexually turn on a bunch of women. So they not overly inclined to, they can be that, but it's usually got to be more mature. But you still want that. But you got some guys, like I said, there's got some guys who can still actually satisfy you if you give them a chance. But they're also good men too. Because you don't want to go to that other extreme. Like there's some good men, but the women just say they lousy in bed. But if y'all start, y'all got to focus on that balance. See, here's the thing. Here's a little mental trick, psychological trick. If you focus on that balance, you'll actually start finding it. You know, you'll actually start running into it. It's a good psychological trick. See, let me go a little deep thought. I don't know how many of y'all check out my deep thought channel, but it's more into thinking and everything, more into psychological things, more into mindset. So if you start focusing on that guy who's balanced and say, okay, I can sacrifice a couple points in the looks department, even a little bit in the sex department. You don't have to satisfy, you don't have to, oh man, that one word, a basic word, you don't have to sacrifice it totally, but just say, okay, he got this, but then he got this. What is the balance? And you got to look at that balance. Okay, what's he bringing outside of the bedroom? What's he bringing inside the bedroom? And then you might have to just balance it out as best as possible. And you actually got a lot of guys in that range. You know, you actually got them. Now, that extreme guy who's just pow on the outside world and pow sexually, they very rare. And if you want them, you got to do some stuff. Because they can focus on the best women. So, anyway. I want y'all to think about that, ladies, and get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.